Hello, I'm Abigail.
And I'm Christy. Welcome back to Mother, Baby and Us.
Mother, Baby and Us. So we've had a bit of a hiatus.
We have.
It started off because we wanted to spend some time with the family over the summer. Mm-hmm. So we thought we'd have a couple of weeks off. And then it went into busy season.
And then we had a flood.
Yeah. So September is always manic every year. But so we kind of knew, we should have known better than to try and plan to come back for September. But anyway, we're here now.
We are.
The flood is fixed.
New kitchen.
Lovely.
Took a lot longer than we needed it to, but there we are. We're here now.
Yeah. So this episode is going to be about customer experience.
Yes.
It's
and,
something
and why it's so important.
Yeah, something we've touched on nearly every episode,
Yes.
but never done like a deep dive on why we think it's so important to your business.
And it definitely needs a full episode.
Oh, 100%. We could talk about this for hours.
We could.
We won't talk about it for hours, but we could.
Yes.
So there are three main reasons, I would say, for why customer experience is so important within not necessarily newborn and maternity photography, but photography in general if you're a customer-facing photographer rather than a business-to-business or whatever else.
Yes.
The first one is they go away with memories that will last them a lifetime. Now, that doesn't do anything there and then for your brand necessarily, as in it's not going to make you any money. It's not going to kind of, I don't know how to explain it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not, you don't instantly see any benefit from doing that apart from you're making that customer happy and they will remember that.
Yeah, their experience
ongoing forever.
Will be, they'll look at those photos and go, oh, I remember that day. Look, do you remember what happened during that session? Blah, blah, blah.
That then has like a knock-on effect in terms of if anything else happens in their life, if they get pregnant again, or then they automatically think back to how they felt during that session and they're not going to want to go anywhere else because they had such a good time. Yeah. So making sure that their experience is the absolute best you can make it is paramount for them.
Yeah. And gives you a warm little fuzzy feeling inside. Because when you see your customers genuinely happy and you get those messages afterwards saying, oh my God, the experience was so good. I can't thank you enough. That's so nice. Mm-hmm. And again, it doesn't get you any more money, but like, it's just really nice to make somebody's day.
It is. And the last customer that we had in, literally the last newborn that we had in the studio, as they were leaving and I was shutting the door, she turned to her husband. She went, oh my God, I enjoyed that so much.
Yeah.
And she didn't think that I heard that because I was shutting the door behind her as she did it. And that's nice.
Yeah, it's lovely.
To know that that's what they're saying as they're leaving.
Yeah. What was that saying the other day? I sent it to you. It was a quote from somebody. Your brand isn't your logo and everything else. Your brand is what people say about you behind your back.
Yes.
And giving that experience will 100% elevate your brand to something a lot better than the people who are not giving their customers those experiences.
People pay for an experience. They don't pay, well, obviously they pay people for just images, but they absolutely will pay for an experience. And that's what you want, innit? For them to go away and talk about you. It takes you on to point 2. They will recommend you to friends and family.
Yeah. So word of mouth, obviously massive.
Massive.
For your marketing within photography. Instagram's great, SEO's great, whatever. Word of mouth will always win.
Yeah. Because
it's a personal recommendation. I've gone to this person, I had this experience, you need to go and have this experience. That will always win over somebody you found on Instagram.
1,000,000%.
So yeah, making that customer feel £1 million so that they go on to their family and friends and say, you need to go and experience this, will have a massive effect on your business.
Yeah.
And then the third one then would probably be if you've given them that experience and they've gone away and they've told all their friends and family and like, oh my God, this was amazing. They want something tangible at the end of that experience then. They want something to show people, look what I got out of that experience. So they'll come in and they'll spend what they need to spend, not what their budget was. That sounds really bad, like they spend it over, but like we never overcharge people, like make them spend more than they need to, but they'll find the money they need to buy the products they want because they want to remember that.
And it doesn't matter what walk of life people are in, like people will spend money on what they want to spend on, and if it means something to them, I mean, people will spend thousands and thousands to go on one holiday for a week. Whereas, you know, some people will see newborn photography and they think, oh, well, I can take a picture on my iPhone. Well, you can, yeah. But the people that appreciate what we do will find the money to spend to have that experience and then to have the products at the end that's going to last them forever.
Yeah.
And I feel like people do appreciate the effort that we put into it. Like we don't do anything by half measures, do we?
No.
Like every part of the experience, we spent so much time in tailoring it and making it to what it is now. So by the time they've come into the studio for their session, we've spoken via email, we've spoken on the phone, they've come in to plan the session so they know exactly what to expect.
Yeah.
They go away and that's not the last time we see them. They come back in then for their viewing where they're going to spend that money with us. And then
But even their experience is, they're not just coming in and I'm looking for some photos. They haven't, like, it's an experience being in the room, and it's like we're in this room. Our podcast studio is our viewing room, and the photos go up on this screen behind us, but the lights are all dimmed like you're in a cinema, and you've got your snacks and you've got your drinks, and like it's an experience, just that little bit, and that just makes a massive difference.
And when they've got their products, they are the best quality products that we've spent so much time in sourcing. Like we've gone to so many different suppliers and made sure what we are giving out is the best quality that we can. Yeah. So every part of the experience is...
Wrapped it beautifully and put it in lovely bags.
Everyone always comments on the bags, don't they?
They love a bag.
Oh, they posh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some of the free ways that you can elevate your customer experience then, because obviously you don't have to spend a massive amount of money to make a massive difference. One of the first ways we started with was questionnaires, which didn't really work for us. I know a lot of photographers use questionnaires, but we didn't quite like that approach. So we went to pre-session consultations quite quickly after we started the questionnaires, didn't we? It was just personal preference. I don't think there's anything wrong with questionnaires. I just think it wasn't really for us.
No. And with a lot of this, it's all trial and error. We've been through it and we've tried to see what works for us. And questionnaires just... they weren't personalised enough for us. The whole point of a questionnaire is to find out more about your client, obviously. But I don't think they were personal enough for us.
No, we weren't getting the answers we needed out of them.
No. So our alternative is to do a pre-session consultation where the client comes into the studio. So we're sitting down in person, got a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, some biscuits, and we sit and have a good chat. And we plan the entire session with them, but spending that time and saying, well, look, this is more of a traditional knitted romper. This is like a modern outfit. This is what a traditional bonnet looks like, as opposed to like a sleeper hat. And spending that time with them so that they understand the difference between those things. Because, I mean, we talk about it all day, every day. We know what those things are. But if this is your first baby, like, do you know what a sleeper hat is? And all right, majority of people will know if you say a traditional knitted bonnet. But I mean, there are so many different variants of a knitted bonnet.
And it also gives them that peace of mind that, because a lot of them are so nervous when they come in, it takes the anxiety away from their actual session, because they've met us, they know, they've got to know us, we've got to know them. They know that we've gone through all the wardrobe and they know that they like everything that they've picked. So when they come in for their session, they're already that much more relaxed. So the session flows are much better.
And they're excited because they've actually seen the props and the outfits. Yeah. They're already imagining, this baby's not even arrived yet, and they're already imagining what their baby's going to look like in that outfit, in that prop, when they come in and have their photos. Yeah. And it's just exciting for them, and it just builds that excitement. And it just all adds to the experience. Yeah. It's not just, I booked my photographer, and then when the baby's here, I just turn up and have some pictures. Like, it all starts way, way, way before that, before baby's even arrived into the world. Yeah.
And the good thing about them coming in so early before their session as well is that if we haven't got something that they particularly wanted, if they've seen something somewhere else and they've gone, I really fancy something like that, we've got time to order it in, and then we let them know, it's fine, we can order whatever you need. And that's like, for me, like I get what I want. And I'm like, yeah, of course you can. Like, we're here for your photos. Everything
is bespoke. Everything is tailored to that person. Even if a client comes in and says, oh, I really like this, and points at something that we've done before, we mix it up a bit, don't we? So it's never,
We never do the same photo
no
twice.
two clients will ever have the same image. So yeah, and they feel really special when we do that, don't they?
Yeah, especially like when there's like themes and they don't really, we'll say, oh yeah, we'll get something along that theme if that's what you want, but we don't actually mention what we get in. And then they come in and they see that we've ordered something specific for them for that theme. And then they're blown away and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe they ordered that in for me. And then we exceed their expectations, and it's just really nice. Warm, fuzzy feeling. I just like making people happy, I do.
You and your fuzzy feelings.
That then leads on to just spend time with your client. Like that's another free way. Yeah, you're spending your time, but it's free in kind of monetization terms. Way of elevating their experience.
Yeah.
It's not a conveyor belt of clients. Like we've been through that phase. It was horrendous. It was the most stressed I've ever been in my life.
Exhausting, and you just don't get the payout for just undercutting yourself and not charging enough and seeing so many clients, and they're just one in, one out. Nobody's getting an experience. No. And we certainly did not get an experience because we were just exhausted all the time. So it doesn't benefit anybody from having a conveyor belt of clients. No. Spending the time with them, you can charge that much more to cover your time, and they will appreciate it tenfold.
You don't mind the customers that will spend money with you and appreciate the service won't mind spending the money because they're getting the experience and they're getting the time with you that they want.
Absolutely. Another easy way of bringing your customer service up and it not costing anything is creating a marketing list. So all your previous clients, anyone just inquiring, you get your mailing list together. If they've been to you previously, then just make sure you log in when these babies are born. You got an easy birthday card to send out the following year.
Coming up to their first birthday.
Yeah.
You've got little one's birthdays coming up. Why don't you celebrate with the first birthday session? Like reminding them that you're there.
Yes. And even if you're not kind of pushy in terms of booking another session, send them a birthday card. Yeah. That's what you need to do. It reminds them that you're there. And you're like, oh my God, look at this. Yeah. So yeah, that's just it's a really easy one that it takes time to build, and you got to remember to.
But you should also have you should also have a CRM going anyway. So if your customers are inquiring and through email, you've got an email list there. If you sign up to somewhere like Light Blue or Studio Ninja or one of them services, I can't think of anything else off the top of my head, where you've got your email list there, you've got all your clients and everything organised, it's already there for you. You can put their birthdays in as they're coming in and it'll remind you, it's so-and-so's birthday. Great, I'll send a card.
Yeah.
Done.
Christmas cards, birthday cards, anniversary if you do weddings. Like you're there for that event, whatever you're photographing, so you know these dates. It's not something you need to even ask the client for. You don't need to go delving for it. You've already got that information, just use it to your advantage. And that goes a long way, especially if it's not just a generic card. If it's a personalised card and you've actually handwritten in it, I know, again, that takes a bit of time, but if you're handwriting a card and send it to them, they'll open that and they're like, oh my God. It's not like, with the big companies, then they print a load of cards and everybody has the same one. It's not the same thing. No. Like when you send something personalised.
You've gone out, you've picked the card.
Yeah.
And it's like Asda's do like 3 for £3 or something like you can get bulk cards that all are different, but like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't need to be expensive.
No, you can bulk buy at the start of the year and then just slowly drip feed them through the year then.
Yeah.
Then going on from that, that's like, there's a slight cost from that, but it's minimal. Another cheap way of elevating experience would be to offer snacks. Like, we love a snack. If I go somewhere and somebody offers me some biscuits or sweets or a drink, I'm like, yes, please, I'll take that. Love it.
When you go to buy a new car.
Oh, do you want a hot chocolate? Yes, please.
And you go to like a nicer garage rather than a low-end budget. And they ask you, do you want a cup of coffee? Rather than you having to go up to a machine and get it yourself with a little plastic cup. And they come up and it's in a proper mug and you can sit there and drink coffee and have your little biscuits on the side. It makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah. When I booked my holiday to Disney World, both times, I went to Virgin. And I can tell you why I went to Virgin. Because they've got a fridge full of cans, or some of them have got like beers and things, like not that we would drink, but still. They've got a fridge full of drinks, and they like, do you want pretzels? Do you want crisps? Your kid can go over and watch Toy Story with some Disney years on. Like, it's an experience. You're all involved. They're already in Disney because they've got their years on. They're watching the films. They sat with all the Disney toys. You were there drinking your drinks and eating your snacks and getting all excited. Experience.
Yeah.
So the first time I did it, we had that experience. We're like, I'm not going anywhere else. I'm going straight back to Virgin. We booked with Virgin the second time.
Yeah. 100%. And it's simple. Like,
and I told everyone about it.
Yeah.
Because we've booked holidays with other travel agents before, and you go in, you book your holiday, you leave. Great. Come up with a free brochure from where you go in, and everywhere else on that continent. But with them, you've got all your Disney stuff. You've got like, it was an experience, and I came out going, oh my God, I'm never booking a holiday with anybody else ever again.
And like, all we do is we provide tea, coffee, and then some biscuits, like bottles of water, and like, it's not a lot, but it goes such a long way. Like, as soon as they're coming in, they pop in their slippers on and they're getting ready to come through, and they're always excited then because they got their slippers on. And I'm asking, what do you want? Do you want a cup of tea, cup of coffee? How do you take it?
They're always surprised.
Yeah, they are.
And another one is, I can't drink caffeine. Obviously, you're pregnant, so your caffeine thing is lower. It's okay, we've got decaf.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, great. I'll have a coffee, please.
And they don't expect it, do they?
No, never expect it.
No. So, yeah, just little things like that are really inexpensive. I mean, you're probably going to have coffee there anyway because you're drinking it all day. Like, offer your client a coffee, like, and put a nice little pack of biscuits. Yeah. I mean, the only downside to that is we buy big boxes of the really nice fancy biscuits, and I end up eating them before the clients, but...
Ridiculous. That's why it costs us a fortune.
It does. And also, I always pick the biscuits that Abigail doesn't like so that she doesn't eat them, but I do.
Rude.
I mean, who doesn't like a Biscoff?
It's all right. Like, I just don't know what I would choose. But people love it.
They do, yeah. Everyone loves a Biscoff. Look fancy on the next to your coffee, don't they? So, moving on from very inexpensive things, the next point can be, I mean, you can spend as much as you want to on a goodie bag, but we started doing goodie bags a little while back, didn't we?
Yeah.
Bit of a break due to like COVID and other bits and pieces. But everybody always loves a goodie bag. So
everyone loves a freebie.
They do, but don't just shove a load of crap in a bag because like you need to make
nobody
an effort.
Nobody loves a goodie bag thinking they've got a goodie bag and then opening it to a load of leaflets and vouchers.
How many times have we been to like a photography, trade show or whatever, and like, yes, goodie bag, and you open up and it's literally just flyers.
Drives me up a wall.
It's not even money off flyers. It's just
that's not a goodie bag. That's a bag of recycling.
It is, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, make an effort when you put in your bags together. If you're going to do it, like do it in it. But yeah, just things like if they are maternity clients, then a bump mask.
Yeah.
And we always put like wax melts because we've got our signature scent on our wax melts. Spritz for bits. Preparing them for labour. Things that we've used personally, and like that spritz for bits. After I gave birth, I swore by it. I did. I don't know how people cope without it. So
it's again giving you your experience and your time. Going, this is what's helped me. Let me pass on the information.
Yeah.
Like, I really love this. Let me show you like how good it is.
Yes. And something that we put in that is completely personalised to us. That we spent a bit of time to make and make sure they were done to our standard were milestone cards.
Yeah.
So they were all branded in our colours. They all had our logo on them. First step, babysitting, slept through the night for the first time, whatever these milestones are. And then...
But we also put on them, I sat up for the first time to book my sitter session.
Yes.
So that it reminded them, actually, let's celebrate this milestone. Let's have another session.
Yeah.
So... as much as lovely as they were, as just a gift, they also were a marketing tool.
Yes.
That kind of didn't look like a marketing tool.
Yes. And not every one of the cards mentioned us. No. It wasn't all kind of, trying to get them to book something else in, but there's just slight reminders through there. Yeah. And yeah, it's just something that we had made, and it was a nice little personal touch.
Yeah.
reusable Starbucks cups go in ours because everyone is sleep deprived after they've had their child and they need all of the caffeine.
Yeah.
And just little things like that. There's loads of different things you could put in a goodie bag, and they don't need to be
Little like
super...
teething toys you can get for super cheap if you buy them in bulk off a wholesaler.
Yeah.
Or even like little snacks and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that goes a long way.
It does. At one point we were doing, there was local to our studio, we had like a sweet shop, and they would do little packs of sweets for us, wouldn't they?
Little boxes.
Little boxes. And they were lovely. The only thing you need to think about when you're doing food is if anybody's got any allergies. But I mean, everything that we do is all boxed and has allergens written on them, doesn't it? So everything is pre-packaged. We don't do anything that isn't. But yeah, it does. It just makes it... When they see that they're getting something and we've thought about it,
That, I think that's the difference, is this haven't been thrown together. This has had a lot of thought and effort put in, and it's tailored most of the time to them.
Yeah. And we've tried different things, and we've swapped things out, and things that maybe, you know, we've given a few out and had a little bit of feedback, you know, or things that we...
I think that's key, innit?
Yeah.
Feedback. Always ask, like,
Yeah.
did you like it? What did it work? What didn't work?
Yeah. Is there anything you
Not necessarily every customer. You go to the ones that you are kind of built a bigger rapport with than others. But
Is there anything in there you found that was not so useful? Because otherwise you're spending money on something that nobody's going to use, and it's a waste. So yeah, I appreciate that kind of feedback, and it just makes those little things better every time you get it.
And with things like gifting, not so much the goodie bags, but like afterwards, if a customer has spent a lot of money with you, or booked multiple sessions and they come in towards the end of it, little like gift accordions or little smaller kind of photography related then. So with using their images, you can make little gifts from that they haven't ordered, but that will go a long way of saying, you didn't order this, but we ordered it for you as a gift. Something small. That also goes a long way.
And whenever we are giving something out, we always put a little handwritten note, don't we?
Yeah.
We've got like compliment slips that have got, it's all obviously branded and it's got a big thank you and that on there. And I handwrite a note, and it goes in every bag that we send out.
Yeah.
Just telling them how nice it was to meet them, and, you know, for us to have the experience with them, and
thankful for their family for choosing us to document their memories.
And then if we put a little gift in, then we always let them know that we really value your custom, and here's a little thank you, that we appreciate you coming in. And again, that just goes a long way.
Yeah.
When it's a personalised handwritten note, like you don't even want to throw it away, do you? You keep it inside the bag with the gift that you've had, because like somebody's taking time out of the day to handwrite you a note. You don't want to just throw it in the bin, do you? It does go a long way.
Yeah.
I think the most money that we have ever spent on customer experience has got to be the investment that we made in our studio.
100%.
I mean, it was a massive, massive investment. Like we dived into this with both feet, didn't we?
You dived in with your feet. You dive in wrong. Yeah, we were like 1 foot in the luxury market, not quite. We didn't want to, like, we were too scared basically when we were too scared to just go, we're luxury and this is us, because the people around that were already our customers in the local area would think that we're a bit like,
who do we think we are?
Yeah.
But at the same time, we couldn't go for luxury in the studio that we were in because it was rented and it just wasn't to the standard. No. Like, there's a lot of places in the UK or globally that you can find rentals that are pristine condition, and like if you've got the money to spend on getting a premises to that level, perfect. Round here, that isn't an option. The only option for us to break into that luxury market properly was to buy a building and regenerate it, and we knocked I think there's only one wall left standing from the original building,
apart from the outside ones, like
the outside one stayed. Well, we even knocked down the back of the building and rebuilt it, didn't we? Like we made sure that this place was exactly as we wanted. We spent so much time in planning it because we wanted to make sure every room is a different area depending on the place that you're at in the process of having a session with us. We've got a dedicated room just for pre-session consultations that stores all of our props and all of our outfits. And We had like the wardrobes and everything that hold all of those props. They're all custom to us, and we wanted it to be that a client would walk in and think, oh my God.
And they do, to be fair, every single one.
Yeah, they do.
Go, oh my God, this is lovely.
Yeah. And like this room that we're in, we use for the customer's viewing experience. So they'll come in, they'll have all of their images up on the TV. They've got all of their samples. They can sit and they can feel the quality of the albums. We've got all of the options that we do for wall art on every wall all the way through the studio.
Yeah, so they're always being immersed in our products, aren't they?
Yes.
It doesn't matter where they are. They see in our wall art, they see it in our albums, they see it in like everything, and they get into their heads, this is what I want.
Yeah.
This is what I want.
And in the studio, we made sure, like, we'd been in, I don't know how many studios at that point, renting different buildings, and we knew what worked and what didn't. And, like, things like having the rig on the ceiling so that we don't have any wires on the floor, because, you know, kids run round and they knock light stands over or they trip over wires, and it doesn't matter how safe you make things. Making sure everything was up on the ceiling and not having any radiators in the studio, just having it temperature controlled.
Yeah.
Like, that was a massive thing. Again, massive amounts of money invested into it, but it'd been a long time coming, hadn't it? We've been doing it for a long, long time.
And we know that when we walk in that studio, it's the correct temperature for the baby.
Every time.
And we don't have to wait for different heaters to come on and move heaters around to make it warmer in certain, like the whole room is the right temperature.
It is, yeah. And having the changing station with extra nappies, because we had a client that come in who had changed the baby's formula the day before they come in for their session, and they'd gone through every single nappy in their nappy bag, and they didn't have any nappy cream, and
and they were so stressed. We were like, it's fine, it's all you. And they were like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
And just alleviates that stress.
Exactly. And having wet wipes in case they run out, or nappy sacks. Having a steriliser in case the dummy falls on the floor and they have a panic because they don't have a way of...
It's definitely falling on the floor if Christy's got your child.
Okay, you don't have ninja reflexes when it comes to dummies being spat, but we got a steriliser, so it doesn't matter. And a bottle warmer.
Yeah. And a fridge to keep your feeds in if you want to.
Yes. And in the bathroom, like in our customer bathroom, we've got breast pads. We've got maternity pads. We've got sanitary pads.
We've had customers take photos of them before and go, oh my God, look how good this is, and put it on their stories on Instagram. Like, that's great, but like slightly weird. But like it made a difference, because the last thing you think of when you've got a newborn baby is yourself.
Yeah, and like, do you know like our hand towels in the bathroom? Like, we've got pink tiles in the bathroom, and I made sure we had little pink hand towels. So every person that comes and washes their hands has their own little hand towel that they know nobody else has touched.
Yeah.
Because when I go to somewhere nice, when you go to a hotel or a nice restaurant and you use their bathroom and they have hand towels, I think, I'm in somewhere nice here. Like, I get that feeling every time I use a little personalised hand towel, and it's not just the paper ones that are, you know. Yeah.
And the slippers.
And the slippers, yeah. Every client that comes in has a pair of slippers to leave their shoes by the front door.
But it was all thought about
in
the planning stages when we were planning the building.
Yeah.
Like, we had a unicorn book of dreams that we'd call it, because it's the ugliest book you've ever seen in your whole entire life. But we planned the tiles, we planned the floor, we planned like literally every inch of this building was planned before we came in, yeah. And if you look at it now, it looked like we made the book afterwards.
Yeah. But it was all with the customer in mind, knowing that their experience is what makes it. We are not going to be able to charge luxury prices unless we're providing a luxury service. And that was exactly what we did when we did this building. That's what we wanted, wasn't it?
Yeah. And it was, we literally asked ourselves the question, wasn't it? If we were pregnant right now, today, and we were going to book our session, what would we want? And it was easy as that. You sit there, you write a list. What would we want from that experience? And then you work off that.
Yeah. And it's really good that we both had very different experiences when we had our newborn babies. My little boy had a milk allergy, and I found it very difficult to go anywhere because his milk, he went through so many different formulas until we found something he could actually have. And then to make up a feed, it was exhausting, wasn't it? It took me 20 minutes to make a feed because I had to put something in to thicken it, something in for something else, and I had to mix them all together. And then the shelf life on one of those feeds was 2 hours. So I knew once I made up that feed, wherever I was going with my baby, I had to be back again within 2 hours. Otherwise, I couldn't make up another feed. So to know if I was coming here with our baby and I knew that everything was here for me to be able to make up a feed that you had,
You didn't have to rush.
yeah, then I would feel so much more at ease knowing that I could come here and bring all the things I needed to and just make up feeds as I needed them.
Yeah.
Massive, massive weight lifted that would have been. And I only know that because I've experienced it.
Yeah.
So all of those things, they all go into it, and you just got to spend some time thinking about what you would want, what you would talk about to other people.
Yeah. And if you haven't had children yourself, ask your customers.
Yeah.
Just ask, what would have made your experience better today? Or what would you love to see on your next pregnancy if you went booked again? And just work off that. Like there's no shame in asking your customers, what can I do to be better? Like you're bettering yourself for them. They'll appreciate it.
Absolutely. And go off experience of who you've had, what clients you've had in. If anything's gone wrong, or not wrong, but
what were the issues they were facing? And
if something had happened, you think, oh, if only we had done this, or if only I had this shirt, or if only I could do this instead, then that situation wouldn't have arose, or they wouldn't have been, like that situation with the nappies. When they ran out of nappies, they were so panicked because they were down to the last nappy, and they thought, well, if this baby dirties this nappy now, we don't have another option. What are we going to do? And we were like, don't stress, we got extra nappies here. But if you didn't have those nappies there, then you would know, it's fine, I will have them next time I have a client in case I ever have this situation again. I mean, touch wood, we've never had that situation since. But if it ever did happen again and a baby was very ill and went through all of those different nappies, then we're covered.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, we're covered. I think of everything that we have talked about, I think the main point to take away is just making everything personalised. It doesn't need to cost money. It can cost as much as you want it to, depending on how much you want to put into it, but it doesn't need to cost anything at all. You just got to make everything personalised, and everything just about that client, making them feel special.
Just get to know them and what they like.
Yeah.
And what they don't like. Probably more important, what they don't like.
Yeah.
And just tailor everything around them.
Yeah.
Have their favourite snack in. Get their favourite drink in.
Yeah. Even if it's something that you talk about in passing, I don't know, like, you could be talking about coffee and they could mention the fact that, oh yeah, like I only ever drink oat milk in my coffee. And then you have oat milk there ready for them and go, oh, I know you only drink oat milk in your coffee. And they won't remember that they've had that conversation with you, but they'll go, oh my God, like this person's listened when we've spoke. And it's silly little things like that go such a long way.
Just have a little notepad with you.
Yeah,
write down a little note. Maybe not when they're there, but like just make a little note of it in your diary. This is what they like, this is what they don't like. Or they mentioned this, perhaps we could do something around this.
Yeah.
I think the most recent example that we got of this is our client that we took to Laycock Abbey.
Oh, absolutely. Maternity client.
Yeah.
Come in for a pre-session.
Didn't know where she wanted to go.
No, open to all ideas. She wanted to go on location, just didn't really have any idea. But just through general conversation, we found out that she was a massive, massive Harry Potter fan.
Yeah.
And then with her blessing, we did a surprise for her, didn't we?
Yeah.
We didn't even tell her where
We planned it with her mother.
We did, yeah. We got her mother involved to make sure we were doing everything right. But yeah, we didn't even tell her where we were going, and she didn't find out until we walked into the building.
Yeah.
And for those of you that don't know, Laycock Abbey is where they filmed a lot of the scenes in Hogwarts. So they've got like the corridors in Hogwarts and some of the spell classes. And
Snape's potion class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could see like her eyes lit up when she walked in. I was like, do you recognise her? She was like, oh my God, we're in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So that was just...
Yeah.
Again, exceeded expectations, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like she had no idea where we were going.
We just picked it up and was like, come on, we go in.
Yeah. And we asked her on the way, have we got an idea of where we're going? And where did you think we were going?
Her husband thought we were taking her to Buckingham Palace.
Yeah, Buckingham Palace. I was like, that's a little bit more than an hour and a half drive, but no, we're not going to Buckingham Palace.
Yeah, but again, experience.
Yeah.
Like she'll never forget that.
Never,
She had her maternity photos in Hogwarts.
Yeah. And didn't even realise she was doing it until she was there, and she was just blown away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just make everything personalised. Just,
Get to know them.
yeah, spend time with your client, and that little personal touch will go such a long way.
Yeah.
People will go away and talk about you.
But nice things, not
Yeah.
horrible things behind your back.
But yeah, you'll get so much more from your client. You'll get so much more from word of mouth.
Yeah. And you'll just get the nicest clients.
You do. Oh my God, it makes such a difference, doesn't it? The
Our
people
clients
that
are lush.
they are. The people that appreciate what we do and will spend the money to get that experience are just lovely, lovely people.
Yeah.
I love all of our clients.
And that's the end of this week's episode. I hope you've enjoyed listening to how we elevate our customer experience.
And if you guys would do anything differently, let us know in the comments. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Mother, baby, and us.